What's up, Kyle?
Hi, guys. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. What's up? Just at the gym trying to get our fitness in, getting ready for Black Eyed Peas touring in the summer.
I didn't know the tour was happening.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Well, we're just getting ready, man. We're just getting ready for all the exciting things that are to come for the Peas.
One of those exciting things, and I definitely want to dive right into this, is the new single "Street Livin'," which I gotta say was instantly maybe my favorite Black Eyed Peas song I've ever heard. I'm not kidding.
Thank you, man. It's very reminiscent of our early work when we first came out in 1997 or 98 with Behind the Front. You know, we were inspired by a lot of bossa nova and jazz, which we incorporated with hip hop. And we've always been a socially conscious group. And it was only right that we came back with the huge message of the state of the climate in the U.S., but also around the world.
It hits on a lot. And I got to say, there's probably still loads that you could have pointed at, which is crazy, you know? Like when you're trying to pull a focus on it, how did that all come together with this song?
Basically, just the mood of our society and what's going on. It's like a cancer that's been growing, and we just wanted to diagnose what's going on and put it in the forefront and, you know, send that message out, because as people, we're being desensitized with all the, you know, distraction in front of you from social media. But you know, then things happen, and then you tend to forget about it real fast, and it just keeps on happening. And we just wanted to point that out.
I mean, there's always plenty to push against. For you guys, does it feel different with this administration than anything, you know, that you've dealt with before?
Yeah, definitely. You know, with everything that's going on, I feel like people didn't really like pay attention into politics until now. Now it seems like everyone is really tuned in and having opinions. So, you know, that's what we feel as what's going on.
Yeah. And we always say that street living is kind of like the diagnosis of what's happening, you know, with all the craziness with the immigration reform to the prison complex, to all the things that we address in street living. It's like when you go to a doctor's office and they tell you have high blood pressure, or worse, you have cancer. A lot of people don't want to hear that. You know, you get a sense of reality, and you get slapped across the face like, yo, holy shit, this is some real stuff that's happening. And that's what we did with street living. Is maybe it might not have been as nice as Where's the Love as far as like the conversation and the narrative, but we had to come with something that was raw and genuine and show the world exactly what's happening in the U.S. with the craziness going on. And, you know, it's good that you know, people know that the first thing that put us on the map was Where's the Love, a song that was socially conscious and had a message. And us coming back in 2018 with a message, it's a direct reflection of that time period for us.
And I mean, you all have always had a good history of working with the community, you know, hitting the streets and the pavement, as they say. But I know two especially noteworthy things of lately. I mean, Taboo, you were at Standing Rock, and Apple, you've been opening schools in the Philippines, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, so it's beyond the song, you know, we're putting in actions ourselves. You know, we come from that environment, and we were given this opportunity. So we have to start in our community, our kids, our neighborhood, and we as Black Eyed Peas, we make sure that we provide that opportunity, education to the youth, because I think that's where we have to start fixing it. Because when people don't have opportunities, they result to negativity, and that's what's happening in our inner cities.
And also, like, all the individual, you know, work that we had been doing in communities kind of prepared us for this bigger fight, which was calling out the climate as far as what's going on in the U.S. Because, you know, when we took a hiatus in 2011, we all had been doing individual work, but preparing for this, you know, reemergence of Black Eyed Peas, and we did it in a way where, you know, we didn't follow the same formula of like trying to go after radio spins and trying to get on every single television show and every trying to compete with the stuff that we did in the past. We just said to ourselves, like, let's do art and activism to the best way of our capabilities, so that, you know, art and activism is the crossroads of this new Black Eyed Peas a project which encompasses the graphic novel Masters of the Sun. It also has the augmented reality and virtual reality that is part of this whole presentation. And Street Livin' was just the soundtrack or the sentiment of the graphic novel Masters of the Sun.
Now, I'd love to hear more about that. What is Masters of the Sun beyond just a graphic novel?
So Masters of the Sun started as a screenplay that will.i.am was kind of formulating a couple years ago. And along the way, the team started formulating. We got Ben Jackendorf to help facilitate the writing of it. We got Damian Scott, who did Spider-Man. We got him to illustrate the graphic novel. And then along the way of putting it all together, our team created the gold embossment, the paper layout, so that it's a collectible. And, along the way, I built a partnership with Marvel going to Comic-Con. And I held on to that relationship for a long time until the right moment presented itself. And this was actually like a perfect way to bring in Marvel and Black Eyed Peas for this amazing experience. And what I didn't know is that will.i.am had been, working on some partnerships with technology as far as augmented reality and virtual reality. And our in-house team actually recreated the whole, the tech side and the creative side all together, because we're in-house. And we like to look at it as the first virtual reality studios and augmented reality studio in the Black Eyed Peas camp.
And the whole story of Masters of the Sun is like, it's about the community and hip hop, how it started in New York in the 80s, and then the community was plagued with crack and violence and weapons. And then there's a crew called the Blast Masters, and the Zulu X and the Blast Masters. Basically, they're a crew that try to take over their community back from this alien entity that plagued the community. And also it has Egyptology, it has conspiracy theory. It's like it's a comic book. It's also parallel to what's going on. But we made it more like, it's zombies, other crackheads, and it's just like a blockbuster hip hop comic book.
That's cool.
And also what was cool is along the journey, we were able to bring aboard an amazing cast to actually be the voices of the augmented reality and the virtual reality. From Jason Isaacs from Harry Potter to John DiMaggio to Rosario Dawson, Queen Latifah, KRS-One, Rakim, and a lot of other hip-hop artists. And then when we got the blessing to have Stan Lee himself be the narrator, that was when we knew that it was really, really special in the comic book world.
Now, are you guys going to be releasing more music through this, or is Street Livin' kind of the only one that ties to it?
No, yeah, we got a whole what we call the soundtrack for the comic book. We got a whole album, and it's in that the album is it's kind of like in that mood, in the Street Livin' into social conscious song, and more like behind the front, they're bridging the gap sound.
We joined forces with Hans Zimmer and Keith Harris and Black Eyed Peas to score the entire virtual reality and augmented reality, so that you'll hear music when you experience the graphic novel, but a lot of that music also has actual songs that we created that will be part of the whole experience.
I know one of the things I think people are confused about is you're also pared down to a trio. Is that the way it is now for this?
Yeah, we actually started as a trio, and we decided to make it about the graphic novel and creating new characters that go along with this experience, so that it's not a reflection of what we've done in the past. It's actually something new. We want to create new IP, create new characters for the Black Eyed Peas experience and universe. Yeah. And it's always cool when you're able to just recreate this new project, and that was what we wanted to rely on more on, like who's front and center, who does what. It was more about the graphic novel. It was more about the partnerships with Marvel, And for us, we're blessed to be able to continue doing what we do, and we're excited to bring this new graphic novel to fruition.
And Black Eyed Peas, we're family, so we're beyond the three of us. We got the we got like a tag team, and then we collaborate with other, different upcoming singers.
Right.
And Fergie's she's family. She's doing her thing right now, and we support that. It's always gonna be family though.
Yeah, Black Eyed Peas, we've always had different pieces to the equation. The foundation has always been me, Will I Am, and Apple. When we first started, we had Kim Hill, we had Macy Gray, Estero, Noel Skaggs, we had Terry Dexter. So there's always been different components. On this album, we're featuring different artists, up-and-coming artists that are already in the industry, just to always continue the rotation of the cast of characters so that you always get something new and refreshing. And that's the cool thing about Black Eyed Peas is we are a family. We're an enterprise that wants to provide opportunity for other artists that are coming up as well.
Well, I love what you guys do. It's always exciting to kind of follow you all and see what's happening. This project here sounds like one of the coolest things you pulled off yet, though.
Thank you, man.
Very exciting. It's something new for us. It keeps our enthusiasm going.
Well, thank you, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you. I look forward to hearing and seeing all the rest of the stuff.
Thank you, man.
Cool.
Appreciate that.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Kyle.
All right, bye.